Good morning, everyone. Dr. Victoria Scrubbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today is Thursday, October 21st, and the moon is in Taurus. If you're listening to this in Australia, New Zealand, on that side of the world, you could already be into Friday the 22nd. So the moon is in Taurus all day. The Taurus Moon brings a certain amount of stability. Of course, we have a square to Saturn. It's a first quarter square, which puts us in an action mode, and that action is to build foundations for build the foundations and the structures that will maintain that Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn in Aquarius is the needs, right, of the collective, and putting them into focus, and the structures needed to live within a society, really, but a more egalitarian and equal society. We have a square between Pluto and Mars today. Actually, for some people, it doesn't happen till just after midnight. Like here on the East Coast, it happens 12 minutes after midnight. But for areas south of us, west of us, it is happening late tonight. And for this square is a last quarter crisis in consciousness square of reorientation. When we have Mars and Pluto together, there's usually some sort of power struggle, and so we can see that in the outer world. Certainly here in the U.S., as the Democrats fight among themselves, if we could say that, because the ones really fighting aren't really quite Democrats. They might be something else, pseudo-Democrats. But there is this fight for the old way versus the new way. This is a last quarter square, so it's about reorientation. So the old way, in a way, doesn't really have a chance, although it may not completely go away. It may not completely go away, but it will not, I will say it will not win this battle. Last quarter squares between Pluto and Mars. Well, whatever Pluto and Mars are in the picture, we're dealing with our desires, our unconscious desires made conscious. Pluto is an archetype of the soul. And within that soul, we have, the parts of ourselves that we're aware of and the parts of ourselves that we're not, the parts that are in the shadows, as it were. And sometimes when Pluto is active, which seems to be always, at least recently, so when Pluto is active, sometimes things come up that we don't truly understand about ourselves. They need to be revealed. They need to be felt. Our desires can only be, the only way to release a desire is to satisfy it. And so we can see people trying to satisfy or attempting to satisfy their need for power, their need for control. Mars is in Libra, so it does have sort of a more considered action here. And so there can be, we'll just say with Mars in Libra, they're sort of going by, what is that, the Queen of Marksbury rules, right? They're going by the rules. They're saying, well, I'll punch you and you punch me, and then I'll punch you and then you punch me. But soon Mars is going to be moving into Scorpio, and that's when all those Marksbury rules sort of go out the window, and people are not afraid to confront and it can get pretty down and dirty. Now that's not going to happen until the 30th, when Mars moves into Scorpio. But there's still a lot of tension and stress because of that. So we will see, and you might see this in your own life. It may not just be something you're watching as an observer of the political situation within a country or your country, or in my case, the U.S. You may be having some struggles within your relationships. There could be misunderstandings of a sort. So it's not an easy energy. Luckily, we do have the Taurus Moon, which does help us to stabilize our emotions a little bit more than otherwise. So that should be helpful. But it's an intense day. It's an intense week. And things are really just, I think, going to get more and more intense. We will have our moments to rest and to catch our breath. And today is somewhat like that, but there's that overlying tension of the square between Pluto and Mars, and we'll feel it. We probably most likely feel it in our solar plexus. So if you have a stomach ache today, that's probably why. So be gentle on your belly today. All right, guys. Well, we still have quite a few flowers in the garden. It has been getting a little chillier at night, and at some point it's gonna just get chilly, but not yet. So we'll get to enjoy still like the roses over here, which I think is interesting. I'll just get it closer. This is, I think, the third time they've bloomed. They usually only bloom twice a season. But those are blooming, and Gretchen's rose is coming up again. We're going to get a couple of yellow roses, I think, if we stay warm enough. So, and of course the hibiscus here hasn't stopped since it started like a month ago. I'm not complaining, of course, because I love it all. All right, guys, have yourself a great day. Like and subscribe, and I will see you again tomorrow. Take care. Be careful today. Thanks. Namaste.